and welcome to the Go Time Podcast here on the Voice of College Football Network. My name is Greg Sashery. I am the host here on the LSU channel of the Voice of College Football Network, bringing you all the latest details on LSU football as well as other sports. But today we have some breaking news and some great news for your LSU Fighting Tigers, and that is five-star LAMAR Brown, the number one recruit in the state of Louisiana, has officially committed to play for your Fighting Tigers. There was a lot of drama with him, just because you had Texas A&M joining in the mix. It looked like he could possibly go to Texas A&M. The way they're recording him, he even admitted on Twitter how much he loved A&M, but LSU kept coming back into the mix, and just what an effort by LSU staff to hone in on the number one player in the state of Louisiana. I mean, this is an incredible effort, because you had already lost Blaine Bradford to Ohio State, right? And then and you wanted to secure the number one player in the state of Louisiana. You had to. You already lost Blaine Bradford. Dylan Berryman, the number 4 player in the state of Louisiana, he went to Texas, right? You had some big names go elsewhere to play outside the state of Louisiana, but you're able to lock down LAMAR Brown, the number 1 player in the state of Louisiana. I mean, just a huge win for LSU and in his recruiting efforts to have the best class in the nation, right? They want you, if you want to have a top 5 recruiting class, especially if you're LSU, given the amount of talent that you're going to have in the next few years. It's not only 2026, but 2027 is the year we have all kinds of dudes. We've already talked about that in length before. Maybe not like in a certain segment, but in terms of when we talk about how important it is for LSU to not only recruit well this year, but also next year, and also to win games on the field, let alone in recruiting battles. You need to win on the field to make sure those guys stay locked in. But it's a huge win, recruiting win for LSU. As you can see here, LSU, with the LAMAR Brown signing, LSU has signed 7 of the top 10 players in 24/7's Louisiana top 10. JaMychal Garrett, who originally is from Alabama, he moved to Baton Rouge. Specifically, he's going to Central High School in the Baton Rouge area, and right now he is at 100% prediction to commit to LSU. But we'll see in the coming days, because he's not really a Louisiana kid. He's from Alabama. So you have to factor that in as well. So, he's not really like the type of guy where it's like, I'm going to commit to LSU because I grew up watching him. Now, I think he does have family from Louisiana, but it's a different deal. He grew up in Alabama. He originally was committed to Auburn. Of course, the Alabama Crimson Tide are always going to play a huge role in his recruitment as well. I mean, he's from the state of Alabama. And of course, there's going to be other schools as well. So he doesn't have that loyalty to LSU the same way some other kids from Louisiana may have. But LSU signed the number 1 prospect from the state of Louisiana, number 7 recruit nationally. Right now, he's the number 1 defensive lineman in the country according to 24/7, and he is of course the number 1 player in the state of Louisiana in the 24 Sports Composite, which is the average ranking among the big 3 websites. Of course, Rivals and On3 have been combined together, so it's Rivals /On3, 24/7, and then ESPN. So he's still the number 1 defensive lineman, the number 1 player in the state of Louisiana, but he's 5th nationally in their composite. And if you actually look at the defensive line rankings, LSU has signed 2 of the top 10, and both of them are from Louisiana. And then also, Jamar Carlton's making a decision today. I don't think he's going to commit to LSU, but LSU is in his top 4, so maybe there could be a shocker there, but who knows? But if you're LSU, you signed 2 of the top 10 players, 2 of the top 10 defensive linemen in the country for the class of 2026. And of course, both of them are from the state of Louisiana, which is a huge deal for LSU, especially considering the fact that they went through coaching change, right? Because Bo Davis left, who was the original defensive line coach for LSU. He left to become the defensive line coach for the New Orleans Saints. So you brought in Kyle Williams, and yes, Kyle Williams, of course, is a former LSU Tiger great, multiple-time Pro Bowler in the NFL. He did a lot of great things in college and the pros, and then he went into the coaching ranks. He was the defensive coordinator at Ruston High School in North Louisiana the last 4 or 5 years. Did a great job there. Ruston had one of the best defenses in the state, and also helped develop LAMAR, who right now is a starter. He's going to be a starter in my opinion. I did a depth chart prediction a couple of shows ago, where I went through the defensive depth chart, and I actually had him as a starter along with Don McKinley. And he had a great year last year, despite having to gain a bunch of weight to play defensive tackle. He was recruited as a defensive end, but he moved to defensive tackle, had a lot of success there, especially in the wake of Jacoby and Guillory's season-ending injury earlier in the season. So, but Kyle Williams, I think he could do a great job with the development of younger players. He did that with LAMAR when he was in high school. He also coached Aiden Anding, who was a member of the class of 2025 as well. He'll be coming in as a true freshman. So we know he could develop players to put them in the right positions to succeed. As a defensive coordinator, but he's not a defensive coordinator, he's a defensive line coach. But we want to see how he's going to do in the recruiting battles, and the fact that he was able to lock down Lamar Brown, and also the fact that Lamar Brown didn't have a good relationship with Brad Davis, because LSU was recruiting him as both, but he would probably play defensive line. Just the relationships he made at LSU throughout the last few years, and also he's already on campus too. So and that was also like a strength in terms of LSU's recruitment of Lamar Brown, but also could be a weakness. We've seen guys from U High commit to other schools in the past, and a lot of that was due to the fact that they were basically on LSU's campus their entire lives. So they wanted to see something else, and that's one of the disadvantages of also having a guy like Lamar Brown, who went to U High, University Lab School, also known as U High around here in the state of Louisiana. It's literally right on the campus of LSU. It is on the campus, right? It's like, a lot of those U High kids actually, when I went to LSU, a lot of those U High kids actually ate in the student union with a lot of the college students. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like on the campus. So the fact that you're able to lock him down, keep him on campus, keep him in Louisiana, keep him in Baton Rouge, away from Texas A&M, who was making a huge push for him, is a major recruiting win for LSU. And right now, with his commitment, LSU is 7th in 24/7's class rankings and the team rankings. And right now, LSU has 3 5-star commits. But if you factor in On3 and rivals, On3/rivals, LSU has 4 5-stars committed. LSU has 4 5-star commits. So I mean, it's a great class LSU's building up, especially on the defensive line. And that's what you need if you want to win in the SEC. Nationally, and let alone the SEC, because the reason why Alabama's dynasty was built was through the defensive line. Georgia's same thing. Clemson, the reason why they were able to win 2 national championships under Dabo Swinney was because of the defensive line. You go through every single national championship team you could think of. You have to win games on the trenches. That's how you win games. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it's true. And if you have the best line of scrimmage, whether that's on the offensive line or the defensive line, you're going to win a lot of games, even trophies, if you're lucky enough. Having a guy like Lamar Brown commit to you and also enhance your defensive line room through recruiting is a major plus. We've seen in the past with previous national championship teams how they were built through the line of scrimmage, especially on the defensive line, and then also going over the On3/rivals. There's kind of confusion with I'm not sure if they're still On3. They call themselves rivals. I have no idea. They need to come up with something soon, but It doesn't matter. LSU is number 5. So number 5 and number 7 recruiting class in the country, according to two of the biggest recruiting sites in the country. That is huge for LSU moving forward. And the recruiting season's not over. You still have a long way to go. You're going to see some commitments come through here in the next month. July is usually still a very, even if it's a dead period, this is around the time where you start seeing a lot more commitments. So LSU could very well move up in the recruiting rank because you already have 3 5-stars committed, according to both On3 and 24/7. If you did a combined 5-star rankings, LSU would have 4. So if you look at LSU's class, according to Rivals / On3, whatever they want to call themselves, Richard Anderson is a 5-star, according to their site. A consensus 5-star right here, while Trenton Henderson is a 4-star. So depending on how you look at it, I mean, whether you want to go off of On3 or go off 24/7s, if you combine them together, LSU has 4 5-star commits that are currently committed, and that's a huge deal, especially when considering the fact that 3 of the 4 are on the defensive line. So huge win, recruiting win for LSU. That will wrap it up today. If Jamar and Carlton or anybody else commits to LSU, I'll upload a video as soon as I possibly can. We will have the live show tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. It's going to be a pre-recorded video, so it's not actually going to be a live show because I got some major news coming soon. I'll actually announce that on the live show. It's great news for me, but for LSU fans, I guess you guys are gonna miss me. And it's not, I'm not getting fired or anything, but I am leaving to take a full-time position at a different company. So I'll let you guys know about that more in the next show, and to kind of explain what's been going on. That's because that's been the big reason why I didn't do a live show Monday, because all that stuff came really fast at the plan for this next big move and the whole 9 yards. I'll explain all that on the show tomorrow. But you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and remember, go Tigers. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also click on the bell to be notified for future videos.